"I have to run an errand," I tell James Wall as we stand outside the tavern, "but would you mind doing something for me in the meantime?" "What's that?" "Keep an eye on Dr. Page. I don't trust him." "Aye, Mistress Ballard. I'll stay until he's gone," James says. The young new doctor must only verify my findings. Then the men of Hallowell can put Joshua Burgess in the ground to rot. But the ground is frozen, and nothing short of a hatchet will break it in this cold. Regardless, there likely isn't a man in 3 counties willing to do the job, which leaves them with a dilemma: what to do with the mangled corpse on their hands. For now they will have to wrap him in linen, then oiled canvas, and store him in the shed behind the tavern until better arrangements can be made. It did not escape my attention that Chandler Robbins, in his drunken stupor, had suggested pitching Burgess back into the river. They'd cut a hole, after all, he said. No one had paid Chandler much mind, however, and then they'd all dispersed and gone their separate ways. I leave James looking more tired than ever, and go in search of something that only Samuel Coleman can supply. Thankfully, all I must do is cross the street and turn left. The sign above the door reads Coleman's General, and it creaks in the breeze like an old gate on rusted hinges. I worry for a moment that the store is not yet open, but no sooner do I set my hand on the knob than I have to jump back as 2 trappers, bearded and foul-smelling, stomp out. "Didn't give us much for them furs, did he?" one grumbles to the other. I hold my breath as they pass. I doubt either of them has bathed in a month. "Get that silver fox," said he will. "Them's worth $20 easy. More if you can keep the head attached when you skin it." "Ain't no silver fox in these woods," the second man argues. He steps off the boardwalk and turns left toward Pollard's tavern. "Them's rare as virgins in a brothel. And just as expensive, but I saw one anyways, a pretty little vixen, upriver yesterday, near that mill run by the Welshmen." I watch as they shuffle across the street, shedding bits of mud and refuse as they go. Soon their voices fade to a hard grumble, and they reach the other side, no doubt to spend whatever coin they've just made at the tavern. The Welshman they speak of is my husband, and the mill belongs to us. But in the 11 years that we have lived there, I have never seen a silver fox. It bothers me that these men think they can kill something on our property and take it just because they want it. I pull the door open and step into the general store. The little bell rings above my head, and my eyes settle on the pile of new furs stacked beside the counter. 7 in total, mostly beaver, though that's a stoat near the middle, and there is a single blazing red fox pelt on top. I am struck by sudden concern for the silver fox's mate. Coleman's General was built before we moved to Hallowell, and Ephraim cannot set foot in the place without muttering about how it wasn't framed square. The roof leaks were fixed last year, however, and the townsfolk no longer need to worry about puddles in the dry goods aisle. For my part, I find the place cheerful. The windows are plentiful, the floorboards creak, and the place smells of lamp oil and dried apples. Coleman is getting older, however, and the store is starting to show signs of neglect. Cobwebs in the corners, dust piled on every windowsill. It's a lot for one man to manage on his own. "Good morning, Mistress Ballard," he calls out from his perch at the till. "To you as well," I answer, then move to join him at the counter. The store is empty except for the 2 of us, and he sits on a wooden stool playing a game of chess by himself, spinning the board around as he takes turns between black and white. I've always thought checkers would be easier if the goal were to outsmart oneself, but he insists on the game of kings. Once he's taken the white rook with the black bishop, he looks up from the board. The iris of his good eye has grown milky in recent years, turning the once soft blue into a muddled kind of gray. It is less disturbing, however, than the sunken void where his other eye used to be. The man refuses to wear a patch,